Alright, so this episode of One Piece was a fine episode. It definitely could have utilized a lot of its time more wisely, because a lot of the time in this episode we were literally seeing the gas panning around, the gas hitting the door, the gas moving around, and a lot of time I was just like, okay, we get it, the gas is a problem. So definitely didn't utilize a lot of its time wisely as it should have. But nonetheless, there were some key things that happened in this episode, and there was some pretty funny stuff. One of the most funniest things of the episode was Nami and Sanji finally going back to their normal bodies, and Nami realizing that Sanji was pretty much, undressing her because she had a different coat on and whatnot. And can you blame Sanji, really? It was a pretty funny moment. That was probably one of my favorite moments of the entire episode. But the best part, the most epic part that stood out to me the most, and really just was like on a series level, just was really a clear-cut understanding of things, and kind of Zoro once again stepping up and letting things be known. When he got pissed off at the end of the episode, and he was walking through, and he was like, Luffy! Luffy! And all the Marines are surrounding him, whatever. He's just like cutting them left and right. And then when he finally gets Luffy's attention, when he says that, New World, it's just the beginning, get a grip. I was just thinking to myself, this is why Zoro, if he really wanted to, he could start up his own crew and be an incredible captain, because he knows what time it is. He knows what's going on, and I love it when he does that, when he really just goes up there and tells Luffy sometimes, you need to quit playing. We could lose it all in an instant by making a mistake, so get a grip. Really big moment right there, and I really like that particular moment. Not really necessarily big as far as, plot revealing or anything like that, but it's just really those important moments, those key moments that show that at the end of the day, Luffy needs to step it up. He needs to understand, this isn't a game. But right afterward, he uses UFO and just starts dragging around through all the freaking Marines and whatnot. So it was like a big moment, but then Luffy kind of looks and he acknowledges it, but then continues on with his craziness with his UFO and stuff like that, which was kind of funny. I like the UFO, looked a little bit wacky and whatnot, what they did with the animation, which, by the way, the animation in the beginning of the episode, it actually looked really decent and fluid and everything. And throughout the episode, it kind of looked alright, so the animation wasn't too bad in this particular episode, which was kind of good. But again, a lot of the episode was just really wasted on, for example, when Brownbeard breaks into his people, the episode starts panning, and we just see the smoke, and you see Brownbeard, and he's looking at the door. Then you see Brownbeard again for another 5-10 seconds. And a lot of that time could have been wasted, or not wasted, could have been useful on different aspects of doing different things, adapting different material, instead of doing those things. I understand they want to slow it down, they have to slow it down, etc. But when you're slowing it down and you do things like just looking at gas for, constant 5-second increments here or there, it really just makes you get a little bit annoyed with the episode with stuff like that. But again, we did have a couple of pretty decent moments in there. Again, we got finally Nami and Sanji in their normal bodies, and also the whole thing with Law kind of setting up, not necessarily a deal, but kind of telling Smoker, I kind of saved you. You kind of keep hush-hush about it. So it kind of shows a little bit more of a trust between the two of them. Not necessarily they formed a bond or anything, but it's kind of like a recognizing, real recognize real. I did this, you should do this in return. So Smoker, that's what I like about Smoker. He's not the typical Marine, the typical Vice Admiral or anything like that. He's straight up, he's pretty much like his own man. And yeah, he abides by the rules and everything, but he has a code that he follows as well, which really just shows his character in general. He's not a prick. He's not an Akainu. He's his own person. And Law saved my life, and I'm going to put my whole Marine status on the side, and I'm going to look at him okay, you did save me, so I will recognize that. And will he respect his wishes? That's, to be told later on. But overall episode, it was a fine episode. Again, not a great episode, not a, big episode. I gave it a 6 out of 10, which equals fine. That's my new rating system, by the way, out of 10. It was, again, a few interesting things, but a lot of the time was, again, wasted on a lot of different, gas moving and just slow motion shots that could have been averted and used on other different things. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Do you think that we're going to finally get to that showdown with Luffy and Caesar very soon? I'd imagine the next couple episodes we'll have the showdown, because the guy bursting into Caesar's room and he's like, the Straw Hats are approaching, so within the next few episodes or so, hopefully we'll get the final battle between Luffy and Caesar, and maybe just a major ass kicking, because that's exactly what Caesar deserves and needs. Luffy, end it quick. But that's all I have for this quick review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to see Luffy pulverize Caesar so we can get a move on things, because Caesar just keeps on until he gets his ass kicked, and then that's going to be the end of it. It'll be the end of the freaking epic laugh. I'm for that world, and as always, people, have an awesome day.